IVM.
Hi, I'm Utsav, a behavior researcher by training and a slow traveler by passion. Postcards from Nowhere is a travel podcast where I condense a decade of travel experiences and explore not just the where, but also the why and how to travel. My stories emerged from slow traveling the less explored parts of the world: Bosnia and Herzegovina, Armenia, Uzbekistan, and even China. At the end of each story, I give practical tips and new ideas about how to travel better. This week, I take you to Antarctica on a journey which could reveal the secrets of the cosmos, the earth, and the sea. It's the quietest place I have ever been, he said. He, by the way, is no ordinary man. In 1992, he set off on a most ambitious journey. He hauled his supplies over 1,300 kilometers, often through glutinous snow, into strong headwinds and temperatures as low as minus 25 degrees Celsius. After 52 days of skiing and walking, at 5:30 a.m. Greenwich time, Erling Kagg, all of 29, arrived at the US Amundsen Scott Station Pole. He became the first man to complete the first unsupported and solo expedition to the South Pole. He was forced by the company who supported him to bring a radio. The last thing he did on the plane was to leave the batteries in the rubbish bin. He had no radio contact to the outside world for 52 days. As I was reading his book, Silence in the Age of Noise, during my 1-month stay in the Himalayas, there was one passage which stayed with me. Erling notes as he writes about his time at the South Pole. I walked alone, and in that whole vast monotone landscape, there was no human noise apart from the sounds I made. Alone on the ice, far into that great wide nothingness, I could both hear and feel the silence. Everything seemed completely flat and white, mile after mile all the way to the horizon. Eventually, in complete isolation, I began to notice that nothing was completely flat after all. The uniform whiteness was transformed into countless shades of white. A tinge of blue surfaced on the snow, somewhat reddish, greenish, and slightly pink. If he had further traveled around Antarctica, he would have also witnessed a blood red color. That too, a blood red liquid flowing off a glacier, which gives it the name Blood Falls. When geologists first discovered the Taylor Glacier in 1911, they thought the red color came from algae, but its true nature turned out to be much more spectacular. It's rust. Yes, good old rust. But how does a place with miles of permafrost and nothing around it get rusted? Roughly 2 million years ago, the Taylor Glacier sealed beneath it a small body of water which contained an ancient community of microbes. Trapped below a thick layer of ice, they have remained there ever since, isolated inside a natural time capsule. Evolving independently of the rest of the living world, these microbes exist in a place with no light or free oxygen and little heat, and are essentially the definition of primordial ooze. The trapped lake has very high salinity and is rich in iron, which gives the waterfall its red color. A fissure in the glacier allows the subglacial lake to flow out, forming the falls without contaminating the ecosystem within. In case you missed it, let me reiterate. There exists a place on Earth which has remained untouched and unchanged for about 2 million years. This place has microbes whose presence completely belies our understanding of the needs of light and oxygen to support life. These are thought to be analogous to what may be found on the icy moons of Europa around Jupiter and Enceladus around Saturn, where similar lakes may be hiding. But that's not the only strange thing about the continent. About 70% of all meteorites ever recovered have come from Antarctica. The study of meteorites found here helps us understand the origins of our solar system and the evolution of the planets. They are rocky samples taken many million years ago and stored by flying around in space before finding their way to Earth. All through this series, Alien Landscapes, I have harped about space, Mars, and answers to the question, are we alone in the universe? But Antarctica hides one more secret, which does not get spoken of. Antarctic marine life. It has been largely isolated from the rest of the planet for tens of millions of years, ever since the continent separated from others and froze over. The long isolation has allowed a tremendous diversity of species unique to the region to evolve on the seafloor. At 230 feet, the limit to which scientists have dived, the diversity is greatest. We see Gorgonian sea fans, shellfish, soft corals, sponges, and small fishes. The colors and exuberance remind one of tropical coral reefs. The most inhabitable continent in the world has the ability to unravel the secrets of life, in space, on land, and underwater. And what follows such possibilities is a simple aspect which formed one of the central insights of Erling Kag's journeys. In 1994, he became the first person to complete the Three Poles Challenge, reaching the North Pole, the South Pole, and the summit of Mount Everest. Silence and self-isolation. If we could create untouched and undisturbed environments around us, much like the Antarctic, we could find ourselves thriving. As Erling says, the struggle lies between the ears, not in the feet.
If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Utsav Memory on Twitter and YVTravel42 on Instagram.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Storytel and TheWholeTruthFoods.com. So, great week on the network. Number of really interesting shows for you guys to check out. Here are a couple of the ones that I would like to highlight for you. Check out This Round Is On Me. Gauri Devi Dayal talks to her husband Jay Yusuf about mixing business and pleasure. They're the husband and wife business partners at Food Matters Company. Give it a shot. Really fun show. On Nankari, they speak about chaat, the queen of the street foods. A fun episode. They canvass the beauty and romance of street food, its cultural importance in a city, and they also discuss the unfortunate harassment that street vendors sometimes go through. On Paisa Vaisa, we had Madhuchanda. They joined Anupam talking about the budget and the different aspects of it. Storytellers and Storytellers features Shreyansh Pandey, creator of Gulak, a great conversation and some interesting insights into facilitating and nurturing writers. Do check that out. On Thale Harate, the Kannada podcast, Mansi Prasad spoke to Pawan Srinath about the history and appreciation of Indian music. It's a really interesting conversation. They discuss classical music and how it evolved in India, what are the various musical instruments and how they developed. Really fun, interesting stuff. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
2020 is a difficult year. A global pandemic, protests, elections, recessions. You get the picture. What we need is a space where we can have nuanced discussions about global affairs and foreign policy. That's where I come in. My name is Hamsini Hariharan and I host the States of Anarchy podcast. Every second Tuesday, I speak to experts in the field of international relations to make a little more sense of the world. So join me on the IVM Podcast app, website, or wherever you're listening to me right now.